A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo, Arnold, Mark, and Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. Without further ado, let's get straight in today's top story. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has announced a launch of investigation into the just concluded Kawempe North by-election violence. It follows rampant allegations of ballot stuffing, altering results, destroying ballot boxes, and violence. He criticizes the UPDF and JAT deployment during the electoral exercise, citing it as an anomaly. And he writes in a letter saying, "Fellow Ugandans, especially the Bazukulu, greetings. It is good that we are getting the rains after a very hot season. Stop damaging the environment, please, wherever you are. In this piece, I am writing to inform you that an electoral and criminal investigation has started in the Kawempe North by-election. The following allegations have come up: ballot paper stuffing, altering results, destroying ballot boxes in Kazo and Angola, Mbogo, Mosque Zone, etc. Because apparently some people did not want those votes to be counted. Campaigning at the polling stations, intimidation and violence, etc. The heavy deployment of security forces may have stopped mass violence, but it could not stop these microcrimes that should have been managed by the electoral officials. Some people really miscalculate. To think that you can commit such crimes against the law and the people when the NRM is in charge of this country is the highest form of shallowness. We shall hold everybody responsible, accountable. Those who intimidate NRM supporters must stop and apologize to those you intimidate. Those of the language that yemwe abatusibiye ko NRM must stop. Respect the Ugandans' choices. Ballot stuffing has been ongoing since 1961. That is how Uganda ended up being unstable, and leaders do not concentrate on solving people's problems because they know they can cheat and be in power whether the people support them or not. This will stop. That is why we are insisting on only biometric verification. Nobody else who is not biometrically verified will vote. I hope all Ugandans who want peace will support this. It must be one person, one vote. Somebody was arrested with 18 ballot papers. The NRM people must not involve themselves in cheating by saying that the opposition is doing it. They must also do it. Work to crush the disenfranchisement of the Ugandan people. That is why the NRM went to the bush. I have heard people talking about the harsh methods by some security elements, especially against the journalists. We are studying this. However, the original question should be, why should the UPDF and JAT have to be deployed in crowd management? Uganda is like an island of peace in the region. Why? Is it because the UPDF? They have enough work fighting the ADF, the cattle rustlers in Karamoja, Kony in Central African Republic, the Al-Shabaab in Somalia, and so on. There they shoot to kill. That is why nightclub goers can go and dance the whole night in peace. Why then do they get diverted to deal with crowds? It is because of the indiscipline of some opposition groups. Who organized the Kabaka riots of September 10th to 12th, 2009? Who organized the 2020 riots of November 18th to 20th, where people were killed? NRM people were undressed, policemen were attacked, and where was the army in all that? I deployed the commandos on 20th of November and they crushed them, the insurrection. Who organized the Panga groups in Masaka? Who destroyed the ballot boxes of 50 polling stations out of the 197 polling stations in Kawempe North? You have been inviting the NRM to attend to you. We shall do exactly that. The mistakes the soldiers may do could be on account of preparing for those non-lethal roles when they are delivered from their work of fighting on account of indiscipline of some actors. These are the criminal mistakes of the opposition. However, there are also organizational mistakes on the NRM side, especially not working collectively and reaching the Wananchi. Investigations will show us who destroyed the ballot paper boxes at Kazo, Angola, Mbogo Center, etc. and why? Could it be of the big support the NRM has there because of the anti-poverty programs in the area? Central Executive Committee is addressing those mistakes. We had a meeting on Friday last. And in more news, with great joy and, I do beg your pardon, with great joy and gratitude, the Catholic Women Guild of Kampala Archdiocese have today embarked on a sacred pilgrimage to Lubaga Cathedral as they mark the Jubilee year 2025. The climax of the pilgrimage was led by the Most Reverend Paul Semwogerere and the Archbishop of Kampala Archdiocese in a liturgical celebration which commenced at 10 a.m. this morning. The pilgrimage was graced by the Vice President Major retired Jessica Alupo, who in her address assured the women that their commitment to prayer, fellowship and collective action is a true testament to the strength and resilience of Catholic women in our community. These
Dear Catholic women of faith, greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. It is indeed with great joy and gratitude that I stand before you today as we all embark on this sacred pilgrimage at Lubaga Cathedral during this Jubilee year, and we thank God for the gift of life. Dear ladies, your commitment to prayer, fellowship, and collective action is a true testament to the strength and resilience of the Catholic women in our community. Let's thank God for that. I commend your vision and dedication in spearheading the establishment of a hostel, an initiative that will undoubtedly benefit many within the Catholic Church and indeed all the people of God. It is inspiring to learn that through your tireless efforts, you have already raised 450 million Uganda shillings out of the 2 billion required through the purchase of shares and generous contributions from different parishes. I congratulate you for this. I urge all the people of goodwill to join us in supporting this cause, ensuring that the construction of the hostel begins as planned in July 2025. To further support this initiative, I am pleased to announce my personal contribution towards the project. So, Your Grace, because I am a messenger on one hand, I will announce the other one where I am a messenger. His Excellency the President has extended to us 60 million Uganda shillings.
Please join me once again to welcome Her Excellency Major Jessica Alupo. Your family is very religious. select it very carefully. What is that you see? That you have not, you are really honoring us as Catholics. We'd like to thank you for that good example, and we pray for you, because you are representing us. We wouldn't wish you to be famous as Catholics, as women who are Catholics, Christians and believers, choosing to come on a rainy day and leaving everything else for our Mass, for the Women's Guild, is a special statement, not only to us but to this entire nation, that prayer is important, Mass is important, and women are very important.
Officials from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development have clarified that Uganda will start commercial oil production in 2026. They were appearing on the front bench show early this week, as Diano Peter Olwenyi reports. More details in this report.
Uganda has shifted the deadline for commercial oil production multiple times since oil was first discovered in the Albertine Graben in 2006. The delays have been due to a combination of factors, such as financial constraints.
And that speaks to our commercialization plan, where we decided that in addition to developing an oil refinery that will process this oil to be able to give us products as a country, that is fuel such as petrol, diesel, etc., we'll also develop the East Africa crude oil pipeline. So this infrastructure needs planning. We go through a process. We must do technical designs. We must acquire land where this infrastructure will be set up. We must resettle affected persons from where the infrastructure will pass.
Initial commercial oil production was expected to begin within 5 years of discovery. However, disagreements between the government and oil companies over taxation and refinery plans led to delays. The government later projected that oil production would begin around 2015, but the slow progress in licensing and negotiations pushed this timeline further to 2018. Delays in reaching a final investment decision with the oil companies and disagreements over the refinery project also extended the timeline to 2020. But infrastructure development, including the construction of the East African crude oil pipeline, was sluggish, pushing the timeline to this year.
Now, we have to understand the journey we've been on as a country, having discovered crude oil, or what we call commercial discoveries, in 2006. Number one, Uganda is a landlocked, or what we say land-linked country. We had the interference of the Ukraine-Russian war. All of these went to cause a few delays on the financing side, but with a slippage of a few months, come 2026, we should be on track for our first oil.
The development of Uganda's energy sector will be key in the socio-economic transformation of the country.
Petroleum, oil and gas, and all extractives, including minerals, very critical in income generation. And all sectors need money. And so the sector is overseeing 3 critical programs out of the 18 programs of the National Development Plan 3.
While Uganda remains committed to meeting this latest deadline for commercial oil production, there is still uncertainty lingering around given the history of delays seen in the oil sector. Diano Olwenyi Peters, UBC News.
And furthermore, the Accidents and Emergency Unit at Mulago National Referral Hospital is faced with a challenge of the unknown patients who are posing a big threat on the diagnostic and management wing. Dr. Judith Okello Head of Accidents and Emergency Unit at Mulago National Referral Hospital says that unknown patients can be defined as the patients whose identity cannot be ascertained at the time of arrival to the hospital. Our health reporter Zahra Abigaba looks into how the unknown patients are managed at Mulago National Referral Hospital.
She came in around early October. She was brought in by police. She was found alongside the road, but they didn't specify where exactly she was found. So she has been with us for around, this is the 4th month, we are coming to the 4th month. We try to do several investigations, the brain CT scans and other x-rays. He has got all her treatment and she's unable to talk. We want to allocate her to the community, back to the community, to her people.
A large number of unknown patients without any personal, family or other identification details represents a unique problem at Mulago National Referral Hospital. These patients pose a diagnostic and management challenge to the treating physicians and staff.
I got accident, but I'm being also with the Nomias of Molo, the side of Nambole and my auntie in Kisasi. I know now there you are like my auntie. I check inside open, please help me, no one can help me. I'm in Mulago, I got accident, I cannot walk.
Dr. Justin Okello, Head of Accident and Emergency Unit at Mulago National Referral Hospital, says a non-patient can be defined as the patient whose identity cannot be ascertained at the time of arrival at the hospital.
Majority of the injuries that we received here that are severe are actually due to the motorcycle accident. And the biggest challenge we are getting are those ones who get the head injuries, the traumatic head injuries. People who come with traumatic head injuries, usually by the time they are brought by police, most of the time by police, they are unconscious. So they come as unknown, they are not known by anybody, and a number of times they don't even have proper documentations. So that gives us a big challenge in tracing where they come from.
So we call them unknown because they don't know themselves. That is the ground for giving them. And we give them pseudonames for identification reasons. But usually patients tend to improve, and when they improve, they are able to tell us their names and where they come from, and we are able to make contacts and get their families involved. But those whose prognosis is poor, by discharge time, one is not able to speak. They may heal physically, but the severe brain damage suffered doesn't allow them have coherent speech anymore.
The unknown patients are unable to provide identifying information at the initial point of contact due to poor comprehension. Dr. Okello also notes that, as a unit, they are challenged by feeding these patients on a daily basis.
As you know, this is an emergency unit only. We don't feed these patients, and it's not part of the policy to feed them because they are not supposed to stay here. They are supposed to be stabilized and move out of this place where they can be fed. So we have that challenge also of taking care of them in terms of feeding. They have no relatives to bring for them food, and they purely rely on Good Samaritan. Currently we are having a few of them where we have failed to trace in our ward here. Some of them we transfer to the parent ward. Actually they are stable enough that ideally they should go home. But since we cannot trace where they have come from, where their relatives are, they are stuck with us.
Dr. David Wamala, Head of Medical Emergency Unit at Mulago, says they have a patient by the names of Willie Buyondo who was brought in unconscious and suspected to have infection in the brain.
We have had for 2 days now. He came in from casualty, and when we assessed him, we found him to be unconscious. He had difficulty in breathing and he had a high temperature. So the investigation so far, we believe that he has an infection in the brain and as well as an infection in the lungs. That's what we are treating him for here. Okay, so for patients who have no caretakers or those who are not known, We work hand in hand with the social workers of the hospital.
The social work department at Mulago Hospital plays a crucial role in delivering personal-centered care and ensuring that patients receive appropriate care and support. Lydia Rukundo from the social works department says most of the unknown patients or any other patient requires compassion from family or relative for better recovery.
I urge everybody to look after your loved ones. Don't abandon. It is tough. When patients are neglected, the recovery process is interfered with. Show people love when they are still alive, when they are happy, when they are in pain. That is the most important gift that they need. Don't wait to give long speeches and a lot of money in condolences when our loved ones have passed on, yet we have abandoned them when they are languishing in hospital.
Once the unknown patients arrive at the emergency care unit, their medical record number is generated and identification band is given to them for easy management. Some of the identification names given at Mulago National Referral Hospital include Hotel, Zulu, Syria, Golf, among others, as the expert explains.
So when they come in, we have a sheet, we clock them and we give them names, and this is the name tag you are seeing, and we tag them by our own names. So the beginning is unknown with another thing. So this one is called Unknown Hotel for us to know her, to identify her.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Quite a touching story, and of course we do compel our road users to be vigilant. You don't have to overspeed so we can be able to reduce such occurrences. Now, residents of Mutungo in Kampala are protesting against the construction of a wall fence in what they say is a road reserve. They accuse Shaban Kwesiga of disregarding city plans to erect a wall fence on Amkar Road, whose boundaries most of them say they have known years for as long as they have lived. This has prompted authorities to swing into action with the mayor for Nakawa Division, Paul Mugambe, to halt further construction. Henry Okrut has the details.
This was Shaban Kwesiga explaining to the people and leaders of Mutungo how he acquired this piece of land.
Mama baba Joshua yaje. Owulira? Era mwami Kigundo oyo mulaba. Yali asomba material. Mama baba Joshua yampita. Nangamba haji mbadde njagala kuyisa wano ewuwo material. Naye waliwo omuyembe guno tukoze tutya. Otegeera? Natwala obuvunanyizibwa n'entebe omuyembe.
The explanation was not earning a warm reception to the ears of many.
Buli muntu yagulanga poloti wano bamulaga nti bakutemako kwero singo sigaze kubuli emmotoka tebagulaga nga lyabigere
nga ate oluguudo lwalwambibwa bulungi ne KCCA lumanyi ne UNRA lumanyi kyokka yazimbyemu wakuba ennyumba zimenyeddwa kulidde kuno.
This disagreement originated from the fact that these residents physically witnessed this. The construction of a wall fence in a road reserve under police protection.
Betula abasirikale ba police aba police ngaba wendudde naye nga teri alwana nga ne byetu recording abatugana obi recording era nze bagezaako okunzijako akasimu banzijeko recording naye tebasobola.
The road in question is Amkar Road. Its existence and boundaries are well known to the authorities. Present in the meeting was the mayor for Nakawa Division, Paul Mugambe. Overwhelmed, he ordered for halting of the entire exercise of wall construction.
Erimu ebituli yandibanga sintufu yandibanga jingirire nenjigoba era mu kiseera kino kye tusazeewo ekikomera kiveewo kyabadde azimba era kiri mu kuvaawo tuli mu kukijjawo.
To the relief of locals, the structure was partly demolished.
Ekintu kyewalaba ng'oli mwana muto myaka 13 nga ndi wano tumaze emyaka 27.
The success of this protest clearly defines a situation of resistance and resilience overcoming impunity.
Fishing communities neighboring Queen Elizabeth National Park in Kasese district are living in fear of being evicted by the Uganda Wildlife Authority. This concern was raised during a meeting attended by the Senior Presidential Advisor on Rwenzori Affairs, Ms. Christine Muhindo, at the Kahendiro fishing landing site on Lake George.
The meeting revealed that UWA had demarcated its land, leaving the fishing community within the conservation area, raising fears of forced eviction.
And I promised them that I will take the information to the relevant officers. I'll meet UWA. We can also explain to His Excellency the President what is taking place so that people understand exactly what is going on. But I'm very sure, and I've promised these people that they should settle. People, government loves them. That's why government is doing everything to make sure that they are treated like other Ugandans. But the issue will be solved. And I thank them for inviting me because I didn't know that they had these problems. I used to come here, but the problems have escalated.
Sengoba Frank called on the government to intervene as the community has been left with no land for settlement.
Here we don't have a voice. We don't have people that can represent us, that can make our voice to reach the big offices.
Christine Muhindo promised to forward their grievances to the relevant authorities for consideration.
I have seen what is there, and I will inform government, and I know things will be settled. Because government settles people's problems, and this is not a big problem to the government. People will settle, and I want to assure you people that everything is going to be settled. Government loves you, they treat you like other people, they care for you. So please, just keep supporting us, keep supporting NRM as you have been supporting. Don't get discouraged.
Sergeant Moses Kambeho, the commander of the Fishing Protection Unit on Lake George and Edward, acknowledged that adherence to proper fishing gear use by fishermen has led to improved discipline in catching mature fish.
We try to fight the illegal fishing to reduce. You cannot finish it. You just reduce and minimize them. That's why now we are getting this catfish. So now it is weighing the kilos of 25 kg. So we tried, like this is from landing site Kahendero, which has been using the illegal fishing nets like Mafemex and other illegal fishing for small boats, but now they have adapted it to the Rio recommended nets.
Two local council chairpersons have been arrested in Teso sub-region for allegedly stealing new and old railway sleepers. Minister of State for Works and Transport, Musa Echweru, told the media in Amuria district that the suspects were arrested in Tabur sub-county Soroti district.
Two local council chairpersons are in police custody in Soroti district for allegedly vandalizing railway sleepers.
I was informed about these leaders and I was particularly very disappointed, because it should have been the LOCs to help government protect its property. But instead, the LOCs are at the forefront. I'm not saying all the LOCs, this particular two, are at the forefront of vandalizing and destroying government property. When I talked to one of the LOCs who had been arrested, he carelessly was telling me that he was keeping them for government in his house. You are not a storekeeper of Uganda Railways. We don't have an MOU with you for you to keep our materials.
Minister of State for Works and Transport Musa Chweru says the booming recycling metal business is driving the rampant theft of railway sleepers in both eastern and northern Uganda.
I am reliably told that some people came from these metal processors, either from Kampala and other parts, and have persuaded our people to say that if you steal the sleepers, they will pay you heavily. So lately there has been theft, a totally new phenomenon here. Theft of railway sleepers, some old and some new, that have been brought by this group that's working, stolen and kept in people's houses with the hope that it can be bought by those who buy metals and take to the factories where they melt them, I think, and fabricate other things from that. This is criminal. This is not acceptable.
Chweru cautions Gombola security officers against theft of government property.
There are GISOs along the railway, there are police, and there are all types of structures of government. And also for my GISOs, if we find, for example, that the railway is vandalized in your area of jurisdiction, then we'll have to be asking, what are you doing there as a Gombola security officer of that area?
Oku Joseph, UBC.
For decades, the Lord's Resistance Army waged a brutal insurgency in northern Uganda, leaving it in the wake of a trail of devastation, death and despair. The devastating legacy of the LRA war has left an indelible mark on the region, its people forever changed by the trauma, terror and tragedy they endured. This is the story of Ocheng Albert, one of the countless victims of the LRA's reign of terror. His harrowing tale of abduction, torture and loss is a testament to the enduring impact of the LRA war on northern Uganda and a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable horror, the human spirit can persevere.
The
devastating legacy of the Lord's Resistance Army LRA war in northern Uganda left an incredible mark on Acholi people who continue to grapple with physical scars, emotional trauma, and loss of hope for a brighter future.
The LRA got me on the way when I'm just going to the garden.
Meet Ocheng Albert, a 38-year-old survivor from Aloi village, Lukangole Parish, Patongo Sub-County in Akago District. His harrowing experience during the Lord's Resistance Army LRA war is a heart-wrenching tale of agony, trauma, and resilience.
Even my face, even my body part was being cut off by a LRA rebel. I was being abducted in 2002. By that time, I was just going to the garden.
As Ocheng Albert recounts the horrific events that led to the loss of both of his hands, his eyes well up with tears and his voice cracks with emotion. It was on March 4th, 2002 that Ocheng Albert's life took a devastating turn. On that fateful day, he was forcefully abducted from his home village of Aloi in what's now Agago district by the ruthless Lord's Resistance Army LRA rebels.
The wife of my brother, she was pregnant with the firstborn. Then they abducted me on the nearby road. Then they left the wife of my brother. Then they took me to the bush. They give me the luggage show that I carry. They abducted me very early in the morning at around 9 there. Then they took me to the bush, the deep, which even not near even the center people living. They give me the very heavy luggage. I carry it, where we saw so many LRA members, which they are there stay in the bush. When we reach the place called Uela Bush, we stay there. At night, they start taking us where we supposed to sleep.
At just 14 years old, Ocheng Albert was brutally abducted by the Lord's Resistance Army LRA rebels. He endured unimaginable physical brutality, suffering devastating injuries. He lost both hands, his ears, and part of his upper mouth, forever changing the course of his life. The painful memories of that fateful day still linger, etched in his mind like a scar.
They start asking me several questions which I don't even know. At that night, they removed me from that side, then they took me to another people which they are abducted. I slept there at night. The following morning, when we wake up in the morning, she started tightening me seriously with 2 legs also tied, with a very tight rope, even behind. My finger even tied behind here. Start say that sit down. That one is around 11 p.m. in the morning.
March 5th, 2002 marked the beginning of a never-ending nightmare for Ocheng Albert. For years, he struggled to come to terms with the traumatic events of the past, his mind haunted by the memories of brutality and loss.
Cut all of his leg, cut all of his finger, cut two of about 2 years, and then all two, even the mouth, you just cut all of them. And he said, those soldiers, they said that this man, we don't want to cut his leg, because if we cut his leg, he can even not move. Let us cut his finger, and then the mouth, then the ear. Then they cut me, and they leave me there, and start moving slowly. You just remember, they leave me by around 12 p.m. on the afternoon. I start moving slowly. I fell down when I'm too much bleeding.
TPO Uganda, in partnership with Trust Fund for Victims, have aided a project that is on rehabilitation, rehabilitating victims in order to foster development amongst the people in northern Uganda. So the project has majorly focused on 4 major objectives. The first objective was to ensure access to physical rehabilitation.
Transcultural Psychosocial Organization TPO Uganda, and generously funded by the Trust Fund for Victims, has been a lifeline for survivors like Ocheng Albert.
Has been majorly targeting war victims, the victims that suffered the LRA atrocities. And we all know that the conflict between the LRA and the Ugandan government lasted for over 2 decades. And this war caused immense suffering and displacement among the people in northern Uganda. And you'll notice that this forced people to end up in camps, internally displaced persons, to live as internally displaced persons, where people ended up in camps.
But in 2018, he finally found a solace in mental health support provided by TPO Uganda, an organization dedicated to helping survivors of conflict heal and rebuild their lives.
I'm a clinical psychologist working for TPO Uganda, and I've been supporting the project that has been running here for over 6 years. As a psychologist, I offer technical support to the team that offers psychosocial assistance to the war victims, and we operate in an ISAC pyramid, whereby most of the clients are reviewed from the lower level, and those clients with critical cases are the ones that are given advanced care.
Thanks to the integrated physical and psychological rehabilitation assistance to war victims in northern Uganda project, Ocheng Albert has finally found a sense of solace and hope.
Your organization TPO came to our place. They got me. By that time, I'm just fearing stay with some people. I'm just fearing stay with my friend because I'm keep hiding myself.
This vital initiative has provided him with comprehensive support, addressing both his physical and emotional needs, and empowering him to rebuild his life after years of trauma and struggle.
You realize that this project has been able to reach a total number of 18,291 war victims. Those were the direct victims that the project has closely worked with.
The integrated physical and psychological rehabilitation assistance to war victims in northern Uganda project, implemented by TPO Uganda, generously funded by Trust Fund for Victims, has been a lifeline for survivors like Ocheng Albert.
In partnership with the government facilities, that is Gulu Regional Referral Hospital, Lira Regional Referral Hospital, to support to rehabilitate victims physically, those that were physically affected, say for example victims that had bullet remains, those that had injuries. So basically TPO has been at the forefront of identifying these victims together with the community support structures and bringing them to the hospitals, where we've had some of them as we listen to some of the stories from the victims.
This vital initiative provides comprehensive support, addressing the complex need of those affected by the conflict and promoting their recovery, dignity, and reintegration into their communities. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
Come on, mo pocket, tambula body street, issues are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission, internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netaga yo kaloni, nigga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. We are good.
With you and MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Mera ngenze mbonipa Sam nazanya Ruto ganyiga star 278 then hash kujja kuba ngo yingide mukazanyo nga sente zino zimula wano zina wangu wazino wano milioni 10 inala mu mukaga ebindi wana soka bila baku TV nange sasa bakiriza kandi ngabula kintu kwa kiufu oba yaddala tibya bufere sente zona zifunye zona zikozeshi naziwangu te nyamasanyo ina manji byoto byange byembadde jagala genda bitukiriza.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulator.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Beneficiaries of the David Bahati Hand Hoe project in Kabale district have been challenged not to attempt and sell off this package, but rather called on the take-up of agriculture as the only means to improve on homestead incomes. The hoe distribution exercise, which is covering all homesteads of Ndorwa West constituency, intends to supplement the efforts of the parish development model program. More details in this report.
Giving out hoes in the whole constituency that comprises of 8 sub-counties.
Since early February 2025, the State Minister of Trade and Industries, David Bahati, has been spearheading a hand-hoe distribution campaign in his constituency of Ndorwa West.
People are appreciating because if you see the economic standards of the people, it is very hard for someone to purchase a hoe, and this has been given freely to them because it would take like 2 days basically for someone to go and dig, then they earn money for the hoe.
The exercise, targeting 1 member in each household, intends to boost the implementation of the government's program of the parish development model.
Shemererwa munonga kuba egi program afukaneza kutuyamba ibintu bingi ekyo kubanza nk'eminyeto nomanya ngu niko nacho mu nteekateeka ya parish development model bakaba tu includingire twine 30%.
It is going to boost on the people who are doing agriculture, that is piggery, bricklaying.
Karujabura village in Kitumba sub-county, Kabale district, is among the latest recipients of this package.
Nitwebaza Honorable Bahati efukezi yatwaniza tuza kuzihinjisa.
We assume that someone can use a hoe for 2 to 3 years. So after 3 years we give out a hoe to help in agriculture, to increase on the household income. As we all know, in Ikigezi we all rely on agriculture.
However, according to Tukamsima Prudence, the distribution manager, women have wholesomely embraced the exercise.
The problem is men are not active in agriculture, and basically giving out a hoe, it is to help in farming. So men are out there, maybe they're in towns doing other work, but majorly we see women come because they're the ones participating in agriculture.
In it, close to 5,000 brand new hoes are expected to be given out at the end of this exercise.
I humbly request that whoever has received this hoe should use it. We should not receive cases where people are selling them. We should not receive cases where a woman is fighting with a man because of this hoe. This is what the Minister Arnold Wadulo has given out with his heart, and he loves people of Ndorwa West, and he wants us to develop. We all rely on agriculture, whether you stay in town or in the village. Let us use it. Let us go out, since actually we have already received the rains for this season. So I urge people to go out and plant.
The initiative is in its final days. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Kama nemo pocket, tambula body street, issues are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission, internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netaga yo kaloni, niga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. We are good.
With you and MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Welcome back. It's now time for the sports news here on UBC TV News tonight. The 2025 ABSA 7 Hills Run was on Sunday morning, attracting 5,000 runners, including elite athletes, and the run lived to its expectations, as our reporter shares with us. These are the highlights.
During the early morning rains, hundreds of runners were flagged off at Lugogo Freedom Grounds in the 2025 ABSA 7 Hills Run. Building on the success of the past 2 years, the 2025 edition championed the critical cause of keeping girls in schools under the theme Change Her Story.
And all of us know that when you educate a girl, you educate the nation. So your effort here is greatly appreciated. Let's run for the girl child. Let's keep the girl child in school.
The famous 21-kilometer race traverses the historic 7 hills of Chibuli, Kampala, Nakasero, Old Kampala, Namirembe, Lubaga, Lubiri, and Zambia, offering a unique blend of athleticism and scenic exploration. And behold, the winners writing down their names on the wall.
I am a woman. When they are running for supporting the girl child, it is so very fantastic.
In the last years, I think we achieved, the first run was about 2,000. The second run, I think, but slightly more than that. I think this year we're targeting 5,000 plus.
We contributed the land title to the overall winner just to boost the run of this event.
Additionally, the top finishers, as determined by timed kits, received 4 tickets to the prestigious ABSA Run City Series in Johannesburg, South Africa, land titles among other prizes. Kawanguzi Paul, Amoni Ngabo, Kelo Dennis, UBC.
Fully. The 2025 I&M Bank Katogo Golf Series has witnessed its first round at the Par 71 Entebbe Club. These are the highlights.
Team P&B comprising Bob Masiko and Peter Atwine has emerged victorious at the first I&M Bank Katogo Golf Series played at the Par 71 Entebbe Club. The pair completed the round of golf with 57 points and won themselves goodies from I&M Bank and 2 Rwanda Air tickets to a destination of their choice. In the women's category, the Fairways Okat team of Edith Wamala and Susanna Cheng scored 59 points and in the process earned a weekend for 2 at Kampala Serena Hotel along with I&M Bank umbrellas.
This is the beginning, just the beginning of an exciting series for this year. If you thought we had big events last year, wait and see what we have in store for you this year.
This year's I&M Bank Katogo Golf Series has a prize kitty of 650 million shillings and promises to do much more beyond the sport of golf.
We pledge to continue to make a positive impact on the lives of the people in our communities. Last year we announced the CSR initiative where we're supporting the staff who help to keep this club going and to keep children in school. So this year we are pledging to continue the CSR activity and together with our partners we'll be, last year we put in 20 million shillings. This year we'll be doing even better and together with our partners we'll be announcing very soon.
On top of its other local collaborations, I&M Bank has also brought on board Excalibur Foundation in partnership with the soccer giants Real Madrid to benefit Ugandans.
This year I'm excited to announce that because of our partnership beyond the 19th World Experience, we are partnering with the Excalibur Foundation in partnership with Real Madrid, and we are focusing on keeping children in school through sports and addressing issues such as menstrual hygiene. And on that note, we will have a surprise football legend who will join us at one of the 19th World Experiences.
In the golf, Team Protons comprising Michael Andama and Jimmy Kamanyi finished as men's runners-up after beating Michael Dur and Brian Manyindo on countback. Game Changers comprising Diana Anubechana and Rita Appel were ladies runners-up with 60 points, while Bogey Busters of Flora Ilunde and Peace Helen finished third with 61 points.
Last November, you remember we had our first cross-border event in Kenya, at the Limuru Country Club. Those of us who were able to attend can attest that we had a good time. So I'm pleased to announce that this year we'll be taking the I&M Bank Katogo Golf Series experience to Kigali in Rwanda.
For the side bets, Peace Helen won the ladies' longest drive, while Ali Juliko won the men's, and Saidi Kirabira won the nearest to the pin prize for the men. No winner was recorded for the hole-in-one, whose prize, a Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, was sponsored by Victoria Motors and insured by GA Insurance. The event, played under the rejected format, attracted over 130 golfers. Under the rejected format, golfers pair up and tee off normally. The pairs are strictly of the same sex, and the unique part of it is that the opposing team decides where the opponents play their second shots from.
The Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Honorable Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, has urged youth to embrace sports as a way to make a living. He was officiating at the gym camp finals at Bugangari Playgrounds in Rukunjiri district.
In a support for youth development, Security Minister Jim Muhwezi and Minister of ICT and National Guidance Chris Baryomonsi attended the finals of the Jim Muhwezi Cup in Bugangari Sub-County, Rukunjiri district. Speaking as the guest of honor representing Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Thomas Tayewa, Dr. Chris Baryomonsi urged youth to embrace sports as a profession, since they can earn a decent salary while also creating bonds and networks with those at national and international levels.
na mwenu wa regime yaje ateye kuleta na Uganda Cranes ati region bari batorana muna ba Taranta abinde Taranta ntubasa kubakuza muzane na heguru mihanga.
Teams from all sub-counties in Rujumbura County participated in the tournament. Minister Baryomonsi represented the Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayewa. He emphasized promoting national unity and cohesion.
Nagambe chakanungu na wachonjera akwana abantu betu bona kanungu na kuongezea abantu bamwe.
Jim Muhwezi Cup finals were a positive step towards promoting youth development and national unity. Rujumbura County Member of Parliament Honorable Major General Jim Katugugu Muhwezi introduced the Jim Cup as a football tournament to identify talent among youth. In the contest, the day's football match was a contest between Nyakajeme sub-county and Wambara sub-county, and also for females. The football match was between Rerere Town Council and Rohinda sub-county. Wambara emerged triumph in 2-1 results. Minister Jim Muhwezi, the facilitator of Jim Cup in Rujumbura constituency, said youth need to be active to benefit from their potential.
Tukaleta mpira kandi twaleta mpira gw'omutano kikakitaka guhuga kandi kiremuzano mpira ahanduruka tukabayereze biraru tukabayereze rukopo amagomborora tukabayereze zana amagomborora hati mwenu reberi izoba naika finals abasheija n'abakazi.
Benon Mokwaya, Kenneth Tanaba, UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you very much. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. But before we leave you, did you know that a man is only as true as his word, to the extent that your word can actually be the kind of currency you use to exchange on the marketplace? Otherwise, see you at 10 and stay UBC.
inspiring Uganda. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Incredible life story is shared and told differently. Welcome to this edition of Incredible Life Stories with Simon Kasiate. As always, it's the place where you find nothing but incredible life stories. And like we've already said, every one of us has an incredible life story to share. But on this program, that incredible life story is told like no other. On the program this evening, we have a lady. Let me even just put a prefix to that. A phenomenal lady who has lived an incredible life, but who is not selfish to share that incredible life with us, if for nothing else, to inspire so many young people, and even the old, who find themselves in circumstances she found herself in, or still are yet to figure out what to make of their life, in spite of everything being right in their life. She is a medical doctor, turned now into a life coach, if I may just put it plainly. But she is someone whose story is the personification of grace to grace, as I always say. Welcome to the program, Dr. Jane Kenjea Kayondo.
Yes. Thank you so much, Simon, for having me. I'm really pleased and privileged to be here.
A medical doctor, but with now a couple of books to her name. One describing her incredible life story, and it's titled The Hero Within. You'll certainly get yourself a copy of that when you look around. But she's also writing another one that is about soft skills, and she'll be telling us a lot more of why someone in the medical field professionally goes and even masters in a very difficult realm of medicine called epidemiology, now goes into finding out what really makes us the kind of people that we should be, or tick for that matter, which is life's soft skills. What are you up to lately? Tell us about these soft skills that you're sharing with us, especially now in the 21st century, having lived through the 20th century and a bit of the 19th to where we are now.
Yes. So for me, actually, my retiring, not retiring, but putting on new tires.
Retiring.
Retiring was influenced and guided and shaped by my own personal experience.